What's up guys, you here. So today we are here with another video and probably a yap video about the 2.5 story quest and giving you guys my review, my full on review and a full on detailed review of the 2.5 story and why I gave this kind of rating and like my pros and cons of the story and some of the stuff that probably could be improved on the story. Gonna give some of those too. And yeah, I'm just gonna say this 2.5 story quest is peak. Season 2 finale is peak. I would say it's not really a strong finale. I would say that. And the story quest is not really perfect, but I think it's like the closest thing to peak quest in Zenless in terms of Zenless right now. Because Zenless right now doesn't really have like, or should I say, still is not in its peak. I would say like the story of Zenless is not really at its peak yet. There's still so many things to build up from. There's still so many things to figure out on. So I would give it like a bit more, maybe like 3.x is probably gonna be like the start of like the big things happening in like the Zone Zero story. But I would say like 1.x and 2.x definitely like a big build up for what's coming in the future. Because on 2.5, if you guys already did the story quest, 2.5 is there's so many lore. There's so many lore drop. There's so many stuff happening in 2.5. Like regarding mayor, regarding like many stuff, like actually like many concepts. And you know what? Before we go and freaking yap and go into tangent on all of the stuff that I wanna say in this video, let's go on and actually show you guys my story review for 2.5 story quest, because I already posted this my review when I did the story quest like few days ago, before New Year's, or like when the 2.5 patch release. I did the story quest. You guys can find the VOD on my channel probably, but I'm gonna like the story is probably uploaded already before this story like before this review. But this is my review, spoiler free. I'm gonna do my like this is my, by the way, for spoiler review, okay? So keep this in mind. So my final rating or my first rating is 8.8 out of 10, but I changed it to 9 out of 10. If you guys look at these quotes, where is it? I changed my mind. It's 9 out of 10. The reason why I changed it to 9 out of 10 because of like the stuff that like after the day that I did story quest, I slept and then wake up and then review again the story quest, and I think that 2.5 definitely deserved 9 out of 10. Zenless Zone Zero standard wise, because like I said, Zenless Zone Zero doesn't really have and like a good story yet, or a good story quest yet in the game, I think. And the closest thing that I can say that on Zenless right now is definitely like the 2.5 story quest, or like the 2.3, not 2.3 but 2.2 story quest, that I would say. Unlike the season 1, there's nothing really, because season 1 is like episodal and also like have like a stop here and there. But in my opinion, 2.2 and 2.5 is like the closest thing, but I would say it's not perfect. It's not like the peak of Zenless Zero story. I think it could be 100% better. But like I said, I would not lie. I cannot lie to myself, and I will give it 9 out of 10. Zenless Zero standard right now. Okay? In the future, that my rating will probably be lower, but right now for me it's 9 out of 10. Mainly because there's so many stuff to talk about. There's so many lore drops, there's so many stuff happening that I'm gonna talk about later, because I already have like a second tweet talking about this. So first of all, yeah, it's a long quest. It's a like 7-hour quest, I think. But if you like do it very fast, it's probably gonna be like a 6 hours and 30-minute quest. But in average, gonna be like 7-hour quest. So I would recommend, if you guys haven't done the story quest yet, since we're still not doing the spoilers thingy, if you're still watching this and haven't done the story, I would recommend doing a 2 batch of doing the story quest. Like stop in the middle, like do the first half and then the second half the next day or maybe in a few days, so that you can like spread out the story quest, because it's gonna be a long one and it's probably gonna be hard to do a full on like literally a marathon of this quest, because I did it and I did it when I'm like very tired already. So like it's hell, okay? And you're probably not gonna have the best experience about it if you did it my way, because for me, like, I did it when I was like super tired already and I didn't realize that it's gonna be super long and I'm dead. Like literally after a few hours, like I'm dead. I don't have energy. But but the low energy of my stuff didn't affect my rating so much. Okay. The story quest, you will learn a lot about Yashin Guang, because 80% of the story quest is 100% gonna be for Yashin Guang, because they are like marketing Yashin Guang and stuff. And I wanna make a separate video about Yashin Guang. I'm gonna talk about her like personality and stuff. But TLDR, I'm just gonna say this. Zenless, like I would say for people in the community, don't like discredit a character based on their marketing, because I feel like we should separate the marketing from the story itself, or like the character itself, because one of the big example of this is Seed, because Seed have some freaking, let's be honest, have some feet fetishes marketing, but her feet didn't even relate to her, story at all, on or her character, honestly. Like, so it's like one of those like marketing should be separated from the story, or also the value that basically the character is doing, I would say. So that's the big thing that I guess TLDR about the Yeshun Guang stuff. And also you will again about Yeshun Guang, one of the best character, MVP as well. I think I said this, I said another tweet on my Twitter. I cannot find the tweet because it's like buried by so many freaking tweets that I already did. But I said that I wish the 1.4 could be longer, and have Miyabi have more lore. Just like how Yashin Guang have a lot of freaking development and lore on 2.5. That's one of like my thing. And that's why I said I have a reply here where I think 1.4 have the best spacing, but 2.5 definitely have the best story so far. That's why I said that, because like the story, like 2.5 story is good, but it has a pacing issue where it's too long. And 2.4 have the best pacing, but the story for the main character that they are like like hyping up, the lore of her is lacking. And that's one of my criticism about 1.4, where like it left me hanging for more, or it left me wanting for more, like wanting for more Miyabi lore, wanting more development, I would say, because let's be like, let's actually be honest, like on the story quest, yes, Miyabi is the main character, but we didn't get to really do a heart-to-heart conversation, or maybe like a heart-to-heart or character development scenes in Miyabi. I mean, we did get some stuff, but like it's not enough compared to how Yashin Guang is. But of course, on Yashin Guang, I would say on the Yashin Guang development, some of it are very repetitive to the point where like actually some of it you can just skip, because she just keeps repeating the same thing over and over again, but like adding some concepts, like adding some concept she repeats it, which is, it's a good, kind of good thing, but at some point it's gonna be repetitive when you keep doing over and over again. And I think that's one of the issues, where like they keep repeating a lot of stuff that made the pacing so much long, because I said earlier 80% of the story is like about Yashin Guang, and like 20% of it is like a lot of like just lore drops, not really it's not really unexplained lore explained lore drop, just literally like just lore drop informations that we still don't have any answers of, especially like the Karo Ana stuff. I'm gonna talk about that later. Phaeton is the best character ever, pick MC. I'm gonna explain this mainly because I think Phaeton have the best writing dispatch. For 2.5 story, Phaeton have the best writing ever. Like actually, like like if you compare the writing for 2.5, the Phaetian writing for 2.5 and compare it to the other patch or the previous patch in the game, even like on season 1, this is definitely like the best. And I think the patch that is very close to this is definitely 2.3, the Yidhari one. Because oh my god, I just glazed the Phaetian or the MC so much when they say the right thing. And on 2.5, 100% all the dialogues for Phaeton is like just speak MC, you know? Because it made me like the MC more because I can agree with the MC's thinking. Like there's this like one scene where people are like arguing about like Yashin Guang, Qing Ming sword, but they're not listening to Yashin Guang, or they're not really like giving Yashin Guang a chance to, you know, say her feelings, because she's keep getting ignored and tossed aside when like the topic is about her and it should be about her opinion. So like Phaeton literally have a dialogue where like she said to the freaking people that, hey, I think we should like, you know, let Yashin Guang speak for herself because it's her life. The shaming sword stuff and the pain that happens to her is from her. So we should, you know, we should consider her like opinion. And like when I saw that scene, oh my god, I glazed the Phaeton so much because of how big the writing for Phaeton on 2.5 is. Even like the emotional stuff on Phaeton's dialogue also. Oh my god, the VA for Belle. I don't know about like the wise VA on the 2.5 story, but like the Belle's VA on the freaking 2.5 is, I think, the best performance VA for Belle. I think the best performance yet for Belle, because like the emotions, I think this is like the first time that I actually like felt the emotion from the performance. I mean, I still feel the emotions from like characters from previous patch, but like this is like one of the best, you know, one of like definitely like the top performance yet, especially on Belle's VA. And it's crazy because like you just felt it. It's like very like immediately that you can feel like there's actually emotion in that performance, which is, oh my god, give that VA a freaking Oscar win, like freaking Oscar award, bro. Let's leave it at that. I think I already said enough about Phaeton and the story. Next one is gonna be so many lore, and we're actually gonna talk about the lore stuff here. And this is why I think 2.5 is big cinema, because I'm a lore head, and all the lore stuff that they drop literally just fits me. So many questions answered on the 2.5 story, but also results in too many questions for the future. When like a question has been answered, there's like a branch of it that we need to answer, like we need to question more. And there's actually a lot more than this. This is just like one of the main concepts and topics that I think is like, god damn, like I think the most important one. Like the floating island, I think I forgot the name of it already, but it's like something Lifer, like Califer or something. I forgot the name of it. It's basically like a floating island where like Sunbringer resides or something. I forgot like the whole lore about it, or I cannot explain it detailed, but it's basically like a floating island. And I feel like that's gonna be our next destination, maybe on 2.x, I mean at 3.x, maybe, I don't know. But it seems crazy because from what I know about these floating islands, they said that it's a utopia, so it's basically like an advanced place. Because I mean, let's be honest, Sunbringer is there too, where Sunbringer is definitely like a techie kind of girly. So yeah, floating island is very exciting. There's more lores about it on like the area where you did the story quest. You can like explore the area and get some lores there too about Sunbringer and stuff. Oh my god, the Sunbringer lore too, I didn't include it here, but the Sunbringer lore is crazy. If you guys wanna look at the lore there, you can like literally just play the game and you can find the lore on the exploration. I would not explain it anymore because it's gonna take a long time to do it. But yokai, very interesting AI. Honestly, the for introduction for yokai, I think is one of the best. Because I forgot the name for the guy, but a lock thingy, lock spring, there we go. Lock Spring, and it's also a reference from Spring Lock from FNAF, I guess, because it's just like a reverse name of Spring Lock to Lock Spring. So basically, Lock Spring got like literally like yokai is inside Lock Spring, and like same as like fairies inside Aeos on like the 1.0 Storicus or chapter 1 or epilogue. I think they did something like that on the Aeos Bangbo, and then fairy join us or something. But it's the same thing as this. Yokai freaking go inside Lock Spring and possess him. Not really possess, but like literally just be there to have fun for some reason. It seems like yokai is very a sociopathic AI, which is very interesting. And also the VA for yokai is definitely like good too, which I kind of dig. Very playful, and I don't know if like yokai is a villain, but I think I would say yokai is a bratty brat, basically. You know, she's like a very troublesome kind of personality, I would say. But I think that's all that we know about yokai at the moment. But definitely we're gonna have more answers in the future too. The creator. So we did know some stuff about the creator too. It seems like Exaltis, even though they hype out Exaltis as such a big thing, it's such a like a big thing, like a big final boss. Like it's gonna be like the divine cult or something. But I realized on season 2 that Exatis is just a normal cult. Yes, they like Exatis did some bad, like very bad things that can definitely like endanger New Eridu. But overall, if you think about it, Exaltis is just a stupid ass cult. If you think about if you really think about it, Exaltis is just a stupid ass cult because it's like religion, you know, like it's just religion, you know. It won't really affect some stuff. It will affect your world, but like in the grand scheme of things, like the divine scheme of things, I feel like it would like it looks stupid because Exaltis is just like one of the like small parts of the creator lore, basically, I would say. So basically, TLDR, the creator is much bigger than Exaltis than we realize. And we didn't really defeat, I mean, we did defeat the creator, but just a remnant of the creator called Messenger. And basically, the creator is much more bigger than this. We didn't really defeat the creator. We're gonna probably in the future. I don't know. We don't know. We do have some lore also about the creator where like it like is connected to the Void Hunter weapons, and it's for some reason it's also related to our freaking eyes because on that last scene, a spoiler again, from the last scene of like the 2.5 story, like we for some reason like the eyes are like acting up, and then we saw a glimpse of like the creator symbol when like our eyes are acting up, which is a crazy symbolism. We don't know the answers for that, but it's a crazy connection and resemblance that maybe kinda imply that the creator is related to our eyes and also related to the Void Hunter weapons. Maybe that also explains why our eyes, when it glows, it's or like we use the eye of the power, a power of the eye, it like turns into like a Void Hunter symbol, which is crazy. But yeah, that's all I know for now for the creator. There's more lore about the creator, but I just didn't wanna talk about it. Void Hunter swords, basically same thing related to the creator and stuff. And also it's like the tops is also, or the Krampus taps are like trying to do their project related to Void Hunter swords. I don't know, are they trying to recreate Void Hunter swords? Maybe, but it's getting crazy. We don't know anything yet, but it's like the start of things, basically. Time travel. I'm gonna talk about this time travel stuff, but basically there are some wacky stuff happening and it seems intentional. I don't know, maybe it's a mistake from the writers, but this seems too intentional where like I feel like the time travel or rewind theory that the Zone Zero community have since 1.x are finally like maybe coming true, mainly because of like the timeline doesn't make sense on the Phaeton meeting Yasheng Guang as a childhood friend when the timeline, or like when we left the Helios Academy, is when like the old capital fell, but we met up with Yasheng Guang, but we know when Yasheng Guang was a child, she already got chosen as a Qingming's Horde holder, and from that memory also, or like that scene that Yasheng Guang like remembers. And we met her. We also have like we met her when we were a baby, but also that doesn't make sense, especially when the picture that we have on our videos, or that we are like a teens going into like Helios Academy, which doesn't make sense more. And for some reason, I cannot like explain it fully. Like, there's more like concepts that I wanna explore about that time travel thingy too. But for some reason, Bell or Wise or the Phaeton finds it when Yashing Guang mentioned that she and I, or like the MC, met before child, like when they were a child. They find it weird, they find it odd basically, because I would say they don't really remember it. I think they don't really remember it, but like they dreamt about it, but like it's not a reliable source basically. So it's like we have this like time travel, time skipping, freaking stuff happening. And also this also connects to like on the 2.4 story lore drops for Sarah, where like Sarah is for some reason an HSO member. Sarah said that she's an HSO member, but she doesn't have any records when she came to the HSO office, which is crazy. And like the first theory on that is like, oh, maybe like they thrown the group off. But oh, especially when this time travel anomaly is like happening on 2.5, like the Sarah like information being gone kind of makes sense now, and maybe it's connected to the time travel too, or the rewind theory that we have on Zenless, which is crazy. Oh my god, I yap too much about that. But yeah, there's some stuff there too. The mayor's agenda, because mayors are like the mayor are for some reason trying to make the void hunters that uses the swords or the weapons to be void hunter. And yes, basically bro is like trying to collect void hunters and trying to give void hunter titles for like the characters that are like strong as heck, probably to control the void hunter power, or like the void hunters itself, to have a controlled power, because you know he's a mayor. And you will actually like realize this when you guys know like Yishuan is not always on the story quest. It's because of the mayor. It seems like since Yishuan refused to be a void hunter, the mayor are trying to keep Yishuan off the Phylum Heights, so that you know Yashin Guang acts up and do impressive stuff as a void, to be a void hunter level, where mayor have an excuse to to give Yashin Guang the void hunter and accept that honor. So like bro is like acting in the background also. And also for some reason Yishuan also got trapped by a void hunter level enemies. They're not void hunter, but the same level, like the same strength or level as a void hunter. For some reason we don't know any information about it. That's all we know. But yeah, void hunter weapons from like the tops to void hunter swords basically have the same like concepts and stuff. And yeah, there's a lot more that I haven't really tackled from this, but there's a lot of stuff happening in 2.5. There's a lot of lore drops and shit that I haven't even tackled, but there's, like I said, there's a lot. But yeah, overall, I think we should end this I think I should end this the stuff that I like, or the review for 2.5, to be like, I guess the best TLDR is like the story quest is not perfect, but it has a satisfying ending where Yashing Guang finally have a character development and became a Void Hunter character. It's like the best, like a very satisfying ending, I would say, or more definitive ending for season 2. But I would say it's not a big impact ending for season 2, I would say, because it seemed like they did 2.5 as a finale of season 2, but they made it like a plot, like a continuation, or like like I feel like they turn it into a build up for the future of Zenless Zero story, which I think, in my opinion, I kind of like it that way. I feel like we don't really need like a good, like impactful ending on each season ending, I would say, especially when like Zenless Zero is a continuous game, like a live service game, so having a seasonal ending each season is probably gonna be like meh, because that's not really how the structure works for a large action gacha game, especially story wise. So I kind of like it that way, and it will also make it so that it doesn't structure as episodic, but like a continuation, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 2. That's why I kind of like the ending, a very satisfying ending with continuation for the story, or like more something to look forward to in the future, compared to like 1.4, where like they kind of stop it there. It's very like awkward, where like, oh, there's credits now after we end the big bad boss, but also there's like continuation. It's like 1.4. It reminds me of how Marvel end their movies basically. But on season 2, the ending for season 2, it has a very satisfying ending for Yashinguang, the character itself, but it doesn't have a definitive ending, or like, oh, we defeated the big bad boss, it's ending now, or something like that. But instead, there's like actually like a long continuation because of like the build up or the lore drops that they included, on like the very start of the quest, until like throughout the quest basically. So like, yes, it has a definitive ending technically, but after the quest, it will make you look forward to a lot more. Yes, like that's why I said like it's like a big build up and setup for the next season. But yeah, that's what I think. It's like not perfect but satisfying and I think now this is the best time that I can also like give my critic, or like the big complaints probably that I have on 2.5 story. And I guess one of the big things is probably like Yashin Guang, where not the marketing or anything, or not the story. I think Yashin Guang's story is good, perfect, even like not even perfect, but like one of the best in the game. But I would say Yashin Guang should have been appeared already since 2.2. And I think Aziel Vanity has made a good point about Yashin Guang story, or like the Yashin Guang analysis on the story itself, that he thinks that they should bring Yashin Guang on 2.2, because it would make sense for Yashin Guang to be on 2.2, since like Yishuan is cannot join the battle on, or like been like usually like been gone throughout the battle for 2.2, but gave an appearance on the last scene for 2.2, which is kind of like meh. I feel like they should continue like the mayor trying to keep Yishuan off the Wi-Fi Peninsula, then let Yashin Guang be on 2.2 and be the solution for 2.2, and then on 2.3 do the same thing, but some small parts here and there, and then we can go continue on with like the 2.4 and then 2.5. And like I think I agree with Azael also here, which even though myself I feel like there's so many depressing stuff on 2.x or season 2 in general for Zenless Zero, it made me like, god damn, can we have like at least like a happy ending? That's why on 2.5 I kind of like the 2.5, because we actually have a happy ending, but like that's like a depression fatigue maybe on season 2, because there's so many like emotional scenes on season 2 that like I'm just like, oh my god, like I want like a happy ending at least on season 2, but we didn't get a happy ending on season 2. But like Azael wants to have a lot more depression throughout, like starting on 2.2, if Yashin Guang got revealed in 2.2 basically. But yeah, I agree with Vanity's take here that Yashin Guang should have been released on 2.2 to have like a big build up until 2.5. But yeah, that will like Vanity said also, that it would fix the pacing issue for 2.5, which will make sense, because if like Yashin Guang got appeared very early on 2.2, it would lessen the yap for 2.5 about like the story, like her story, and it's just gonna be focusing on her character development on 2.5. I think that's like the best structure for it, but of course they kind of fucked that up. I mean, it's also just a critic, so it could be better. Maybe they would make it better. But yeah, that's like one of the big critic, or I guess complain about 2.5 story, or like they missed the plot basically for Yashin Wong. But overall, 2.5 they made Yeshingwang like one of the best character writing in Zenless yet. I think that's not gonna like remove my point about Yeshingwang. It's just that I think that they kind of squeeze a lot more, like they kind of squeeze most of the Yeshingwang story on only one patch, that it made it bloated instead of like spreading it throughout the story starting on 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5. That's what I think. Second complaint I guess that I have is that I kind of wish that we got more Sarah lore. Like because we already got like a lot of build up about Sarah. Yes, we did get a Sarah lore on 2.4, but we didn't really focus much on the main big boss in 2.5 if you think about it. Like I thought we're gonna have a lot more Sarah lore, we're gonna have a lot more creator lore, like a big, like at least like big pieces of lore about them. But we didn't. Like Sarah's lore basically stopped at 2.4. I think that's the end of Sarah's lore. It's just that the reason why I think is like that's my big complaint about it, is that it kind of lost me, where like Zenless Zero has been very good at making a good villain story, or like a good like a boss story. Like Isolde is a good boss story, you know. Bringer, even though Bringer is kind of like, you know, a bad character to be a boss with, I would say that Bringer also have a like a decent like villain story, or like antagonist story, you know. And I kind of think that they kind of missed up a lot on not Yashima, but Sarah, because they've been building up Sarah. Like Sarah has been here since season 1. So like this build of like Sarah, this one, and then there's like only like small part of lore on 2.4, and we didn't get much on 2, or we didn't actually get anything on 2.5. Kind of like I kind of felt sad about it, because her lore kind of left behind, and it didn't really like that. The fight is cool, like the boss is cool and everything, but just damn, it didn't like give me like a emotional connection to the boss, same as how I get emotionally connected to the Wandering Hunter, to the Yijiang boss, like the miasmic fiend, you know. Even like the miasmic priest, oh, and also like the defiler, you know. I got some emotional connection from those bosses, but also the Yeshuan's the troll, even though it's such a bad boss design, it's still like, I think in my opinion, bad boss is, I think I still have like emotional connection to it. But like in this last boss on 2.5, I didn't get any like emotional connection to it, mainly because I didn't know anything about it, or I mean we did know some stuff about it, but it's not enough, you know. I kind of felt sad about that. No, that's like one, like those are my main complaints about the Star Wars. I think I have more complaints, but I think I forgot about it, honestly. But yeah, I think that's it for today's video. That's all of my rating about Zenless Zero 2.5 story quest. I have a lot more to say, but honestly, I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, I think I'm gonna let you guys have your own opinion. I wanna talk more about like the alter ego of Jeshin Guang and Jeshin Guang's character, but I think I'm gonna do that in the next video, talking about like mainly Jeshin Guang's character. So keep a lookout on that one. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down below what to think about the 2.5 story quest, and show me your ratings. My ratings is 9 out of 10, by the way. 9 out of 10, not 8.8, because I changed my mind. Okay, I changed my mind. It's 9 out of 10 now. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, bye bye.